Listen how chill PSA Sitch is. Okay.
I'm
my understanding.
I'm chill too. Guys, I'm asking you a fucking question, you moron.
Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that Doomer doesn't like Django?
Okay, I hate you so much.
Listen, we don't know right now. We don't know one single thing that Jangles is for in critical race theory, and in a debate on critical race theory, it seems like that might be relevant. But let's move on.
Okay, I'm taking the Jangles, shut the f up. I'm taking the goddamn talking stick. Everybody shut the f up for a second. Holy shit. And in order to assuage Adam's frustration with this question...
Wait. First of all, hey, I have no frustration here, Counterpoints. Listen, Counterpoints.
I have a lot of frustration.
Hold on. Let's make it clear. Let's talk one at a time here, okay? My question is, there is a descriptive element of CRT that we can talk about and describe. We won't hear, and then there is a prescriptive element to CRT, which is the praxis stuff that everyone's complaining about being in schools and stuff. Connor has made the argument that you guys are in favor of the lens, the descriptive element of CRT, but not in favor of the practice.
Wouldn't it be great to hear from us?
Jangles,
so let me
shut the f up, okay? I'm trying to fucking ask you a question here.
No, you're not. You're trying to put words into my mouth.
I'm trying to ask you. I'm asking.
Talking stick.
There's a fucking audience here, Jangles. They want to know your actual opinion.
Then why are you telling them my opinion?
I'm asking you a fucking question, you moron.
Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that Doomer doesn't like Django?
Okay, I hate you so much.
Listen, Connor. Can you please ask the question? Evidently, he doesn't understand the question from me.
No. I'm gonna kick you all in the balls.
Yeah, we
okay?
do not. We do not.
So number one. Okay, stop. Basically, if you saw the breakdown in communication for the past fucking 2 minutes, what happened was Jangles began describing the previous week's descriptions of his positions. Then he got pissed off thinking about those descriptions. And then you assigned a bunch of perspectives to him that he didn't necessarily disagree with. And LSP, hold on, this is important.
What did I just subscribe to him? I asked him what is his fucking what is his position? Okay, I didn't describe it to him. What are you talking about?
I'm so glad you're here.
I'm going to punch you on the balls.
Glad you're here.
So in order to
who's talking? I can't. Is that you, Sitch?
Yes.
In order to move the conversation forward, let's stop describing what the other person did, either now or in the past, and let's just talk about our things. And in order to assuage Adam's frustration with this question,
wait. First of all, hey, I have no frustration here. Counterpoints. Listen. Counterpoints.
I have a lot of frustration.
Counterpoints. Let me talk for 1 second here. Sitch, is this like I went out of my way, Sitch, to
you're a little aggro.
I went out of my way though to describe the prescriptive and the descriptive aspect of CRT without labeling them, without giving any description of them. And I did that so I wouldn't be accused of placing some sort of position on these two. And then they accuse me of that anyway. Like, what the hell?
Just got done bitching about Adam.
I am just, hey, Connor,
Everyone,
1 second, please.
Listen
1 second, please, okay?
Listen how chill PSA Sitch is.
Yeah,
okay? It's my understanding.
I'm chill too. Listen.
My understanding was that LSP, I didn't hear what Jangles' answer was, but I heard LSP say that he agrees with the description, but not the prescription.
Okay, so I just misheard him then.
Yes.
Jangles, please.
Misheard him. Yeah.
Now, can I speak?
You can speak, Jangles.
All right, so I'm not going to say that I agree with the descriptive or prescriptive elements of CRT because there's a fuck ton of them. All right, there's more than one descriptive analysis in critical race theory. I agree with a lot of them. There's some of them that I kind of disagree with. In fact, one of the main criticisms of critical race theory is that it's more about discussion. It presents a lot of seemingly like contradictory positions and invites discussion. That makes it hard to know, like, to really pin down what are the descriptive elements. The same for the prescriptive elements. There's some of them I might agree with. There's some of them I might not agree with. We have to go on an individual case-by-case basis. And this is made harder. And this is made harder.
This is what I said in the stream. This bullshit artist right here. Fucking all we're getting is bullshit.
No,
what you just said was bullshit.
No, I actually listen.
Fucking
I agree
stream
with,
of bullshit.
I agree with Jangles' description, but to me, that is why I kind of think it is. I think CRT is sort of dishonest because a lot of things are framed in these, we're just asking questions.
Yeah, totally.
Like not definitive.
He didn't answer the question, Jangles. Pardon me for pointing it out.
He answered it directly.
Hold on. No, he did.
Well, no, he didn't. He said, listen, I'm not going to take a position on the descriptive or the prescriptive because, these are such nebulous areas here. Who knows what I'm actually agreeing to here.
And he disagrees with some aspects of it. And if you want to get more specific, he welcomes that conversation.
LSP, thank you for actually answering the question. I want to commend you for that.
Hold on.
Jangles,
I'm sorry, Justin. You're on stage with a fucking retard. I'm sorry.
That's very ableist of you. I will consider that. You'll
get over it in about 2 hours, dude.
So
okay, damn it.
This was a little weird about the James Lindsay conversation because it seemed like there was this like very strong disagreement, but it was kind of like vague disagreement. I didn't really understand the specifics because, like, when he says in the beginning that CRT is race Marxism. I mean, do you disagree with that? Or do you just think that's overly simplistic?
That's way overly simplistic. And something he does a lot is that James Lindsay calls everything Marxism. He called fucking Joe Biden a communist, right? All right. Here's criticism of the left. They call everything fascist to the point where fascist doesn't mean anything.
I know,
but what James Lindsay does and why it's so hard to get into this is like when he calls something Marxism, everything's Marxism to him. Like, so it doesn't like get into anything. If you call it race Marxism, no. Like, would you call the civil rights movement race Marxism? What?
Well, no, but it was liberal.
This is ridiculous.
So it was anti.
Okay,
he's conflating.
Can I steal, man?
Let me ask the follow-up question. Like, what do you understand why he's labeling CRT, or why I would label CRT race Marxism?
Well, because he would definitely. So there definitely are Marxist elements within CRT.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, it has a lot of ideology born from Marxism.
Can I articulate those specifically? So
I don't know why. Like, I've never been able to like finish an articulation of my point.
You're not going to make a point, so there's no point.
like
God
Jangles.
Damn it!
Let Jangles.
Holy shit! Just eliminate you from like seriously. Every single fucking time we get into a dispute or whatever, it's because somebody else is describing somebody else's position. Just let him use the fucking position, and then if he has a shitty position or like an overly
he has no position. Counterpoint. Connor, he has zero position.
Question
with your tears.
No position.
Ask the follow-up question. Okay, I'm just going to go into this. Okay,
here's what Justin said. He said there are definitely Marxist elements within CRT. Justin, would you like to finish that point?
Yes.
I have no idea where.
I would like to go after Jangles.
Let's just count the sentences he gets through.
Okay, Jesus Christ. So yeah, there are Marxist elements within critical race theory, but to like boil it down to race Marxism, I think is overly simplistic because like what elements of one, saying it's Marxist isn't the same thing as saying it's bad. You're just calling it Marxist. And two, like, why would this not apply to like any other like movement? How could because Marxism is kind of like you have an oppressor class and an oppressed class. That's kind of where the Marxism element comes from, right?
No.
All right. So would you agree? Is that not okay? Obviously, that's an overly simplistic thing of Marxism, but I think that's what they're getting at. That's the core of what he's getting at. Any disagreement so far?
The civil rights wasn't about abolishing property rights.
No.
The civil rights movement wasn't about like communism.
No. Okay. Cool. Awesome. The whole thing is that like oppressed class. I think that's where a lot of like it's race Marxism. I think it's where it's coming from. It's where you get like the cult, postmodern neo-Marxism, all that fun stuff. So I don't know why this wouldn't apply to like any analysis of history where white people were objectively, you would agree, the oppressors, and black people were objectively, you would agree, the people being oppressed. So would you apply like the civil rights movement or abolition? Would you call that race Marxism? That feels
because we wouldn't agree with that, Jangles.
Of course you wouldn't do that. Of course you wouldn't do that.
I'm saying it wouldn't apply though.
Yeah, it wouldn't apply. That's why.
Why?
Because the civil rights movement was about finding your individual humanity to not be judged by race. Okay.
Yes.
That's
awesome.
And part of the reason that it's called race Marxism is because not only is it just this it is, as you said, that part of it is this, labeling, viewing the world as a oppressor group that is sort of motivated by some sort of singular purpose that is kind of acting in the zero-sum way, like, oh, white people have to hoard the resources away from black people because we live in this zero-sum system.
I have a study for this.
Okay,
but what
before you
get into a study, what I'm saying is, in the civil rights movement, the liberals, there obviously was radical leftists in the civil rights movement, but the liberal part of it that won did not view it in that socialist way, did not view it in a sort of Marxian lens the way that CRT does. So that's why I would say it's not fair to simply say, well, you could call anything Marxian inspired.
Would you agree that Martin Luther King was called over and over a Marxist and a communist?
He was, because by J. Edgar Hoover and other people who wanted to diminish his movement. Sure.
Cool.
Doesn't mean he was, though.
I said, so it doesn't mean he was. No, there's some socialist elements there, but he was very obviously, he did not like, so he adopted some principles from Marxism and rejected others. Like he rejected the rejection of Christianity and religion. He rejected that part of it.
What? He was a fucking Christian minister.
No, he rejected
that. Oh my God, Adam, you are functionally incapable of listening, are you?
Yeah, like, so yeah, he rejected, he
just said he rejected Christianity, but
no, I said he
rejected the rejection.
Okay, so we're for the rest of the debate, let's all talk in double negatives. Okay, I will start by saying that I don't.
We can write it out.
I will start by saying that I don't dislike Jangles. Okay.
Thanks for the
and I would understand you because that's a normal thing to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, continue.
All right, so there are elements of Marxism within a critical race theory, but to reduce it down to race Marxism is making it way too simple.
You're talking about MLK, or were you done with that point?
I was kind of done with that point.
Oh, okay. So MLK was very explicitly anti-Marxism,
anti-communist as well.
Anti-communist.
Okay. Can I feel like we're on the cusp of understanding, so I just want to expand a point and make sure that everybody's on the same fucking page so we can move past like, oh, your definition's stupid, this, that, the other.
We still have got no answer out of Jangles, so I'd like to make that notice before we move on.
Adam also has
so we don't know right now. We don't know one single thing that Jangles is for in critical race theory, and in a debate on critical race theory, it seems like that might be relevant. But let's move on.
I'm taking the Jangles, shut the fuck up. I'm taking the goddamn talking stick. Everybody shut the fuck up for a second. Holy shit. God
I just want to tell everybody that nobody actually made Connor the official moderator. But I'm
totally.
This position.
No. Everybody stop. All right. So
Doomer, did you want to say something?
Get it? Adam, I'm going to kick you in the nuts. All right. So his answer, which was unsatisfactory, was there are some descriptive elements that he agrees with, some descriptive elements that he doesn't. There are some prescriptive elements that he agrees with, some that he doesn't agree with. And while that might feel a little slippery, I'm sure if we asked a follow-up question, he could maybe get into some of the descriptive things that he agrees with and some of the prescriptive things he agrees with. Now, I wanted to articulate some of my objections because Jangles was acting like we would all, number one, that the race Marxism definition was stupid, and number two, that we would agree with some of the descriptive elements of what he said when I actually don't. Okay. So number one, the steelman of the definition of race Marxism is that, Marxist material analysis or whatever divides the world into two different camps, the bourgeoisie and the proletariat, the owners and the workers. And the only way that you can achieve like a peaceful, harmonious, beautiful world is by abolishing the bourgeois and just having the proletariat run everything. Okay. That's typical communist, socialist Marxism, okay? Now, if you take that formula of identifying several classes and saying that this class needs to use its political power in order to abolish a different class, then that is absolutely what's happening in the Marxian analysis of race, which like you don't have to call it Marx because Marx is economics, but the leftist analysis of race that CRT is based upon, where they're saying that whiteness, not white people, but the concept of like white culture and dominance and being on time and all that bullshit is an essential, I don't even want to say essential, a created cultural aspect of a dominant culture that in order to gain like social harmony, you have to abolish that concept. I viscerally disagree both with the descriptions and prescriptions, and I want to talk about the descriptions real quick. Jangles, you kind of assumed that like I or Adam or PSA Sitch would agree that whites were the objective oppressors during certain times of history or something like that. The reason why I don't like that analysis is because it ignores a lot of like the different factional strife during certain amounts of time. So for instance, in the 19th century in particular, where like whites were obviously historically oppressing black people. The black people were only 13% of the population of the United States. So if they were always an oppressed class with no sympathy or allies outside of their own thing, they would still be slaves today. That's very clearly not what happened. Almost 50% of the fucking country went to war with 50% of the other country and killed, I want to say 500,000 people died in this war in order to abolish the institution of slavery. I'm not saying that the Northerners were like anti-racist or woke, or they weren't fucking race realists or anything like that. But I'm saying that the critical race theory that whites during certain times in history are objectively oppressors, it basically categorizes it in such a broad stroke that it's almost useless. And to me, it's fucking vile.
Yes,
because
racist.
It's missing so much of the nuance of history.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. All right.
Yeah, I actually agree with that too. That's totally a reasonable position.
All right. So I was overly simplistic when I said white people were the oppressors. When I said white people were the oppressors. When I said white people were the oppressors. I'll take that L. I'll take that L. I guess it's a good thing that you can be nuanced without being Weasley. So
stop that shit.
Okay.
Dude, you're like 2 states away. I'll find you. And I will buy you a drink, and then I will kick you in the bean.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show, and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.